Stop leak. How many people in here have used stop leak? 1, 2, 3. Any kind of barge leak. Take chew and stick chew in there. Take some sawdust off the floor. There's like a whole bunch of different remedies for stop leak. What's the purpose of stop leak? Stop the leak. Is that the only thing that it does for you?
Good job, Joe.
How does it actually work? What makes stop leak actually work?
Reduces coolant capacity. Fills in.
But how does it work? Has anybody ever looked at what stop leak is? It's just a bunch of junk that you throw in your cooling system. So you take sawdust off the floor, you take pepper, you take chewing tobacco, and you put it in there. What have you just done? You've contaminated your system, and you're hoping that one of those chunks of debris sticks in that hole and stops it from leaking out of there. But I have an additive package that's designed to attach to all this debris that's in there and actually neutralize it and keep it out. It's not going to take it out, but all of my additive package will be quickly depleted because it's trying to neutralize all this garbage that I just threw into my system. The only reason I would ever use stop leak, 2 reasons. One, I've got a radiator that I cannot replace. It's obsolete. There's none like it. I can't even get a core for it. And I've got to keep this thing running a little bit longer so that I can replace it sometime down the future. There's one reason. Second reason, I'm up in the mountains and I've got a stick in my radiator and I punched a little hole in it and I want to get back to town. I'm going to throw something in there to plug the hole. But yes, you have to clean the system out, flush it, and try to get it all out. The place that it actually accumulates the worst is in the engine itself. And if you look at it, my cooling system goes from right here to right here, and it stops. And if you put barge leak or whatever, one of those list of things we had in there, what happens is it settles out right at the bottom. And as the debris builds up, it builds up and builds up, I actually don't cool the bottom part of my cylinder, which is also where the oil is splashing up and being dissipated. So my engine starts to overheat, or my oil, and the bottom part of my radiator starts to distort because it's not, our cylinder, because it's not cooling. And so this is where it affects the most. Plus, it gets in your radiator, plugs up the little passageways in your radiator, decreases the efficiency of your radiator, your whole system starts to get hotter and hotter, which leads to a lot of other problems. So I'm going to recommend that you don't use it. One product that I do recommend is called Alumisil or Silver Seal, and that's for use for just with aluminum radiators. The way that stuff works, it comes in a little bottle about 8 ounces, and you just pour it in your radiator. When the radiator gets hot, it has a glue in it, and it causes the glue to get sticky. And once it gets hot and let it cool down, it actually will fill in the holes in it. It just hardens in there. We have a 3235A John Deere out here, and when we got it, it had a hole in the radiator. And we priced a new one. The cost of the new radiator was just over $500, and that was a lot of money for a radiator. I called the dealer and talked to him, and he said that it's pretty common for them to get holes in them, and he's the one that recommended that I use this. And I was pretty hesitant at first, but I went ahead and did it anyway. We poured it in, went out here, mowed our 2 little fairways, brought it back in, let it cool off, and it sealed up and it hasn't leaked since. And so it works only with aluminum radiators, and it works pretty slick. And it costs about $8 versus a $500 radiator. So that's the only type of stop leak that I recommend, and that's only for aluminum radiators.